Welcome to another episode of DWA Off the Cuff. My name's Lane. I am on my way to meet Art at Alice's Cafe to pick up another 911 that is super valuable, that kind of looks like every other 911. So I'm picking up a 1974, I believe it is. 1974, so first year of the G-body cars, which for those of you that don't know, is like the impact bumpers, the shorter hood, the accordion, you know, they have the accordion bumpers, just the 80s style 911 basically. So it's a 74 911 Carrera. This is a rest of world car, so it's an MFI car, so a Bosch mechanical fuel injection. Basically, essentially that means it has a 2.7 RS engine, like was in the 1973 RSs, which are worth over $1 million now, and 210 horsepower, weighs the same as a 73 911 RS Touring, despite having the bigger bumpers and stuff like that. So a pretty light car. I don't know what the exact weight is. I'm guessing around like 2,600 pounds. 210 horsepower. These are super rare. I think they made 1,000 something in 74 and maybe like 500 or 600 in 75. We didn't get them in the United States. They're worth $250,000 or more now. Looks like every other 911 to most people out there. I mean, it's just, you know, pretty basic looking. Fuchs, all the standard 911 stuff, but really cool car, and I can't wait to drive it. So yeah, I'll see you in a couple minutes when I check this thing out. Roll the window up. All right, here we are in the I was wrong about the year, it's a 75. So it's a 1975 911 Carrera 2.7 rest of world car. So it's the MFI mechanical fuel injection, 210 horsepower, full analog awesomeness. The steering is amazing in this. Oh my god, this car is so good. And I've gone around like 15 turns. We just got a guy at the Alice's Cafe walked up, and he asked what year it was, and the guy obviously knew his stuff, because he's like, oh, that's when a Carrera meant something. And that's the truth. I mean, this is like full on, you know, this is the engine out of the 73 2.7 RS that everyone hails as one of the greatest Porsches of all time. So this thing is awesome, and this motor is so sexy compared to that 3.2 in the Carrera that I had last week. Even though that car was a tuned motor and super cool, this thing just has instant throttle response and this mechanical fuel injection. It has this, the noise coming out of the back is so awesome, the intake noise. This car's rad. Steering super heavy, but so good. This is my jam right here. This car is so awesome. We did have a guy, when we were in Alice, a guy walked by it, and he was with his friend, and they were in a couple of 911s and a Subaru STI. And the guy's like, oh, look at this 993. So not everyone knows what it is, and to most onlookers, it just looks like a normal 70s, 80s 911, but this is really a special car. And I'm not sure if the noise is coming through, but it sounds glorious. Listen to that. Has this wail. Listen up. This is my jam. This thing is just like, it's like the Carrera we drove last week, but with a lot more specialness and sense of occasion. This car is awesome. I can't believe, and it's crazy to think this car is from 1974. I mean, it feels so good and so tight. It's an amazing car. I don't know what really else to say about it. I mean, driving this compared to that, you know, the one we drove last week, the Carrera Club Sport, that was a 1989. This is a 75, so they're 14 years apart, but still basically same chassis. I love these small displacement motors on the Porsches, or smaller displacement motors. They tend to be a lot like zingier and sound a lot better when they're smaller displacement. A lot more responsive and, you know, not as lazy to rev up. That's why I prefer like an SC to a Carrera actually. So I like the way the 3-liter, I like the way the 3-liter feels compared to the 3.2s, in stock trim at least. And this is even more so. It's just so good. It just wants to be revved up, and it's so good. And the sound from the MFI just sounds so incredible. So, but this is another one of those cars. It's definitely not a $250,000 driving experience, I wouldn't say. Maybe it is, I don't know. Maybe it is these days with what else, I mean, because what else is a $250,000? But it's not a $250,000 driving experience, but that's what they're worth. They're super rare. And I would say this is, Art and I were just talking about over breakfast, and let's say the Carrera Club Sport is a $50,000 driving experience. This is more like a $100,000 driving experience. So it's definitely getting up there. And this car is really cool. It has sport seats, vinyl sport seats, has a sunroof, kind of has all the stuff, but it's also an older car. So it has crank windows, no power steering, of course. That didn't come until the 964, and no room between the steering wheel and the dash right here, like all the old 911s. The speedometer is super cool. It has these like 5 or 6 or 7 red kind of lines going around it. It's really cool looking. Red line is, looks like 7,200, 7,400-ish. So it revs up pretty good. But yeah, it's just a really cool car. So I am very privileged to be driving this one right here. This thing's sweet. I'm stuck behind a truck right now, so I'm just cruising. But this is definitely one of those, if you do some research on this, it's totally a bucket list driving experience, and like it's a really incredible car. And people that I've talked to, that I've never driven a 73 RS, but this is the same weight as a 73 RS Touring, same engine, so it essentially is like the earlier RS. And people I've talked to said, you know, the differences are minute between the two cars as far as the driving experience. But you know, this doesn't look as cool as a 73 long hood car, obviously, but very, very cool car. Just bare bones, just a great 911. But to, you know, most people, they just think it's a normal car, a really nice older Porsche, and that's fine. I mean, and it does have the 915 tranny, which people, you know, a lot of people don't like them, and they do. They're a little, you don't really know where you're going. Like the G50 is a really nice transmission. This definitely has a little bit of those. It's a quirky transmission, let's say, and people do. Some people really love the 915 because it's an art to kind of master it, and just kind of like have the confidence in knowing where to go with it and everything. And I don't mind it, really. I don't mind it at all. And I kind of prefer the 915 cars just because I like this simpler, lightweight. But the shifting feel is definitely not comparable to like a G50 transmission. G50 is really nice. It feels closer to like my 944 or something like that. say that my 944 does have a better feel than a G50. So fight me on that one. But this isn't about the 944. This is about a 75 Carrera 2.7 MFI, which is an awesome car. One thing, the brakes are definitely old school as far as you need a lot of pedal pressure to have them work, but they do work well. You just it's more like driving a 914 or something like that, where you have to, like, it's the more you put on it, the better they'll stop, as opposed to, you know, you have to actually like put some weight behind it, put some muscle behind the brakes. But they do work well, and I'm not like starving for brakes anywhere. Yeah, this car is pretty rad. So I'm gonna end this now because I really have nothing else to say besides this car is cool and everything like that. So hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I'm stoked to be driving this thing, and see you next time. Later.